Good morning everyone, it's Richard from Seeker Training. Welcome to the 64th canned workouts of the 7th of September 2020. Good morning everyone. Oh wonderful, yes, people are coming back and they're joining, so that's good. So I'll just quickly get the paperwork out of the way, so I'll do it as fast as possible. So if you haven't seen a doctor to allow you to exercise, please see a doctor. If you don't want to see a doctor, please fill out my health questionnaire part Q, which is tagged underneath this video on YouTube or my website, or pinned at the top of my Facebook page at Seeker Training. Fill out the first sheet and the last sheet. If you haven't got, if you don't tick yes in anything, if you tick yes in anything, you will have to fill out some of the middle bits. Message it to me, and we'll get it over and done with. Right, that's over and done with. Thank you. Right, thank you for that information. Yes, I hope she's all right with the travelling. Right, so good morning everyone. Sorry, just a little bit of something in my throat then. Right, so welcome to Monday. So I might as well go straight on with the talk. The talk today is about the benefits of warm-up. So, why do we warm up? For a start, it's to get the body ready for exercise. I like to think of it as, if you've ever driven an old car, probably early 90s and below, you will probably have actually driven a car with what's called a manual choke. A little thing which you pulled out of the dash, turned a quarter turn just to keep up, and then suddenly you have to flick it back and let it go in, otherwise you flood the engine. That kind of get the car warm and moving. Without that choke, it would not have worked. It would have choked itself, literally, and not worked properly. That is what we need to do for our bodies. We need to actually get it working in the way we need it to work. So how do we do that? For a start, when we start warming up, we are asking the heart to pump harder. We're asking that muscle to work, because it is a muscle. We need to get it to work properly. If we don't, it can have problems. It will actually spin the blood around the body a little bit faster. It will also direct the internal organs to have less blood flow, not completely eradicate it, but less blood flow, and it will go to the extremities of where the actual muscles are moving. So if you're moving more of the arms, it will go to the biceps, forearms, hands. If you're moving your thighs, it'll go to your thighs. So you need to warm up the body parts that you need to be working. The other benefit of that is once the blood starts flowing and the muscles are getting warmer, they're getting more pumped with blood, it's getting rid of some natural toxins in there, getting the oxygen in there. Also, the joints themselves are plumping up with synovial fluid. Inside each of the joints, let's say the elbow there's a little balloon with a capsule called synovial capsule, and it's got synovial fluid in there. And when you start working, it actually, hormones go around your body to actually tell it to start, basically, work's happening there, I want to protect that joint. So then it pumps it up a little bit more, puts some liquid in there, and as you cool down, it will actually remove it. So it's actually protecting your joints. Also, your arteries and veins expand to allow more blood flow around, so you're actually being more efficient. You are getting your lungs ready. Your brain is actually producing endorphins to actually allow you to be able to exercise properly, because actually it's part of the fight and flight system that when it first starts, that you actually need the energy and the adrenaline to actually get the exercise going. So there you go, that's a warm-up. Well, actually, the other thing about warm-up is it's to reduce chance of damage due to injury. If you warm up, if you work on not warmed up muscles, it's like a balloon. If you first get a balloon out of a packet, you start trying to blow it up, it only goes to about that big. But if you actually grab hold of it and you actually stretch it a few times, warm up that rubber, it's easy to blow up. An old elastic band, if you get an old elastic band and suddenly just pull it really fast, chances are it will be hard and brittle and break. That's what can happen to your muscles if you don't actually warm them up properly. Also, let's think about the strategies of warming up. I warm up 5 minutes before my classes, between 4 and 5 minutes. Okay. There are some courses I've done which actually states that you need to warm up for 15 minutes. The older you are, the more you've got to warm up. The colder the environment you're in, the more you've got to warm up. But you can actually take that and use it in different ways. If you go to a gym, if you live less than a mile away, walk really fast, you pump your arms, that could be your warm up and your cool down coming back. So try and use that to actually allow you to exercise for longer, or at least get more in the day. I also, for some clients, I actually get them to do step exercises. And what we do is we slowly, progressively get them more and more active as we go along. That's another good system of warming up. Incorporate it into the exercise system, so you're working slower to higher. There is another way of doing it. I actually do a warm up at the beginning. Sometimes you can actually just do 8 rotations in both directions. Oh, won't be a second. Morning.
Morning.
Thank you. Sorry, got a wool delivery. Thank you.
Chicken order.
Yes. Thank you very much indeed.
Bang on.
Alright.
Super.
Excellent. Thank you very much indeed. Thank you. You take care. There we go. Sorry about that. That was a wool delivery, large wool delivery from my wife to do crochet. So, what was I saying? Yes, so 8 rotations or repetitions without weight will actually be a good warm up. I tend to use that just before doing some really active workouts. Like if I do a deadlift, I will get a bar with no weight on it, and I'll do up to 20 repetitions of that just to warm up the muscles, get myself going, to tell my body what it's expecting to be doing. Right, so that and the wool, maybe I should call that the wool stream. We will get working out. I think we'll start warming up. Okay, so let's start doing the warm up. So Marty on the spot. Get those arms bending as well. Excellent, good. I'm going to go wide legged. I hope everyone's stream's alright at the moment. Mine, for some reason, the Facebook one never moves. Or when it does move, it means that it's not moving for you. Right, let's do some reach overs. So as I was saying with the warm up, basically warm up the body parts that you're going to be working that day. So if you're only doing a leg day, there's no point actually warming up the upper body. It does help, but there's no real point. So that's why it's good to also have a plan. If you go to a gym or do an exercise class, so it's good to have a plan of what you're doing, so you know which body parts are moving, so you know which ones to warm up and which to stretch afterwards. Excellent. Right, we're just going to do some flick kicks, so we're just going to kick our feet out. I'll do it sideways because it looks a bit odd on the monitor. Now what I want to do is when we're doing our flick kicks, try and get that heel out. So our toes go up. You should feel a slight pull on the back of your calf. It is a bit odd. Might just me. Right, back to Marty on the spot. Good, higher knees. Bit slower, higher knees. Get those glutes and hips working. I like doing this with my arms because it warms up the biceps and triceps at the same time, and a little bit of the shoulders. Right, back to marching on the spot. Okay, so what we're going to do is just take it nice and easy. What we're going to do is just lift our arms up and down, cross them over. Mind the Victorian era. Oh, it's just about to fall apart, that. Could do one of those days, I'm sure of it. Brilliant. And we're going to push forward now. Get that chest and back working. I'm going to cross our arms over now. Get a little bit more work in the chest going. Excellent, good. Shake it off, let's just march on the spot. Last minute 15 seconds. So have you had a good weekend? I hope so. Oh, so exercise equipment, dumbbells, band or a scarf if you haven't got a band, water, mat and chair. Okay, so we'll be using all those. So right, we're going to go to wide, wide, narrow, narrow. So basically it's just going to be a squat position, so your bottom's going to be back. We're going to start together. What we're going to do is we're going to go wide, wide, narrow, narrow. Okay, so it's just wide step, narrow step, narrow step. Always trying to keep down in that squat position. You don't have to go far. If you don't go far, that means you might have tight hamstrings over the glutes. So we can work on that. Right, in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, let's go. Wide, wide, narrow, narrow. At your own speed. I'm going to do it slightly on an angle so you can see. Try and keep a nice stack, shoulder, knees and toes. Head, shoulders, knees and toes, knees and toes. There we go. So even the nursery rhymes can come out. Ah. Problem with going diagonally on the mat. Five seconds left. It wouldn't be a rookie trim if something didn't go wrong.
Change.
Right, excellent. Right, dumbbell punches. So I'm going to use my dumbbells. You can use your homemade dumbbells. So it's shoulder width, slightly wider shoulder width apart, knees slightly bent, tummy tight, and we're going to be punching out. You can put a bit of rotation in like I do, it works the biceps a bit more. And let's go.
1.2.
I like to put a little bob into it, so I'll do it diagonally. If you're into jiu-jitsu, you could do it that way. That's how we used to do it when I was doing jiu-jitsu as a lad. 15 seconds. 10 seconds. 5, 3, 2, 1. Brilliant, right, we're going to do circular squats, so we can put the weights down again. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a nice wide stance, feet at 45-degree angles. Try and bend, bottom back, but try and stay upright. We're going to go over to one foot. We're going to go down and circular up. Down and circular up. If you get any pain with your knees, take a wider stance. Okay, let's get going. So we're going to go circular around. It's nice and easy. Working the inside of your thighs, your glutes, your hips. Try and face forward. 5 seconds left.
3,
2, 1.
Change.
Excellent, good. Right, we're going to change exercise now. We're going to do press ups. So you might want to use the chair to do a press up. So you can go down and up. Careful you don't impact your head on anything. Or you can do it on the floor. Remember to keep those arms underneath your shoulders.
2.
And we'll do it on the floor.
Exercise 1.4.
Let's go. Or you can use the wall, depending on how you want to do it. Try and keep a nice straight posture. No sagging down, no bottom up. Otherwise that shows that you've actually got a weak core, depending on whether it's front or back. "15 seconds. Try not to hook your head as well, down and into your chest. A lot of people do that.
3, 2, 1. Change.
That was a bit hard, but we're going to use the chair again and the band. If you don't have the band, use your scarf and just pull in and low. If you've got the bands,
3,
hook them over your feet.
2,
What
1.
we're going to do is we're going to grab hold of them,
Exercise
thumbs facing
1.5.
downwards, and we're going to do a low row. Be careful of your elbows and the chair arms. So we're going to bring them back, try and bring our shoulder blades back. So the scarf version will be holding it out, just trying to pull apart the scarf or the piece of material and bring it into the chest. To get those shoulder blades back, you need to get those back. You need to feel as though you're trying to make a crevice or a valley.
3, 2, 1. Change.
Right, we're going to use the chair again. What we're going to do is we're going to put our hands on the either sides or the front. We're going to do bicep bench dips, but it's harder this way, straight legged. Easier with your legs
3,
bent.
2,
The
1.
other way,
Exercise
I'm going to go down,
1.6.
so elbows to 90-degree angle and push it up. Okay, so as we're doing it, I'll explain if you're having problems. You can always sit back on the chair. What I do is I tend to say, slowly come off, and then put one foot back, push yourself up, and then go back down again. That's a good way of actually progressing to get stronger triceps. Because it's the eccentric, the going down, nice and slowly, not the up, which builds the muscles. It's harder going up, because you're actually trying to actually
2,
push it
1.
out.
Change.
Excellent, good. You're doing really well. I can't see you, but I'm presuming you are. Right, we're going to do underhanded pullouts. So with the bands, we're going to supinate or turn our hands upwards, grab hold of the band, elbows
3,
into the side,
2,
we're going to pull out
1.
and together.
Exercise 1.7.
People without bands, you can do it without any kind of weight or anything like that. Just do it without the band. Just try and get your shoulder blades nicely retracted. Try not to hunch those shoulders up. We're just trying to work the rotator at the moment and actually get these shoulder blades working as well. Ten seconds left. So we're just pulling it out, we're not going too far. You won't be able to go that far because your hands are
3,
upside down.
2, 1.
Arm water break. Right, if you do it the other way around, that way, you can get your hands out a lot further. But I find the hands being upside down is more effective because you are actually restricting your motion. You are actually working a bit harder. Right, so let's have some water. I hope that was all right for you. So I'll quickly go over some of the teaching points for the ones which are a bit more difficult for people. Press ups. You can do it on a unit. So try and get those elbows down. Not out like that. You can do it on the chair. If you do it that way around, you have to be very careful. If it's like this one, if I put a little bit of pressure on the back, it will tip up. So please try not to do it that way. You could put your hands on the arms and go down, so you're not actually head-butting the actual the backrest. You can do it on a wall. I'm not going to do it on the wall because I'll dirty the mirror even more than it is. Tricep dips for the people that didn't notice. If you're having problems, what you could just do is lower yourself down until you get to 90 degrees, put your foot back, push yourself up onto the chair, and do it again. Okay, we're going ready to do wide, wide, narrow, narrow again. I'll have a drink in a moment because I never had a drink. So, 2, 1, let's go. Wide, wide, narrow, narrow. I'm actually going to move these mats out of the way. Actually, they're actually sliding around slightly. "15 seconds. Five,
3,
2, 1. Brilliant. Right, I'm going to move these mats out of the way and have a quick drink. So we're going to dumbbell punches next. Always hard to slurp out of those ones where you've got to really,
3,
well, slurp it out.
1.
Right, dumbbell punches, let's go.
2.
Slightly at an angle. So you can see I'm not leaning over, I'm not leaning back. If you lean over, you really need to actually get your abdominals tight, tighten that tummy, stabilise your back, but you should actually have a nice straight back.
3,
2, 1.
Change.
Brilliant. Right, we've got circular squats. Again with the, I like to give people little teaching points to, to know why I'm teaching it. But dumbbell punches,
3, 2.
slightly pre-exhausted for the press up.
Exercise 2.
Let's go. The wide, wide, narrow, narrow pre-exhaust you for the circular squats. And the press ups pre-exhaust you for the tricep bench dips, because you tend to work the same muscle structures, but we're working them in slightly different ways, different intensities. And then the back exercise are the ones which just actually are stabilising muscles for those front muscles to work. So you got your your anterior and your posterior. Posterior is your back.
2, 1. Change.
Brilliant. Right, we're going to do press ups. So remember, you can do it on your chair, on the wall, on the bench, on the ceiling, wherever you want. I'm going to do it back down on the floor again. So I should have left the door open. It's a bit warm in here now.
3, 2, 1. Exercise 2.4.
Right, I'm ready. Remember to keep those hands under the shoulders, elbows back. Let's see how many you can do. Count. Not out loud. I'll just count. That's 20 for me.
Three, 2, 1. Change.
Right, how many did you do? I did 30. Gosh. Right, we're going to need the bands back, or the scarves for the low row. Actually, this is a quite light band. You might find that
3, 2.
your bands might be quite light for doing this.
2.5.
There's a quite strong muscle at the back. So remember, we're going to row up so our hands go up to our waist, elbows backwards, shoulder blades pinching. If you have problems, if you have multiple bands, you can always put 2 bands around your feet. when you normally exercise, if you, let's say you do 12 repetitions, you should feel strained by about the 9th or 10th. When I do classes like this, on 40 seconds,
3, 2,
you should feel as though the world's coming to an end by about the 15 seconds left. So right, we're going to change over now. We're going to tricep dips. I find it easier with my hands forward, but it's actually more painful on my wrist, so sometimes I like to rotate it around to the side.
Exercise 2.6.
So it's distinctly up to you if you've got a bad wrist. It's all about wrist positioning. Try not to hunch up your shoulders too much. So this one it's a hard exercise, so I'm actually starting to feel it right about now, which is about the right time. Try and actually get your hands, your elbows, nice in line with the bottom leg.
3,
What's happening there is
1.
the weight is
Change.
pushing downwards, not pushing backwards. A lot of people have the chairs which kind of go across the floor. That's because what you're doing is you're slightly too far forward, you're actually pushing backwards instead. Right, underhanded banded pullouts.
3, 2, 1. Exercise 2.7.
So if you found this one easy, it's what I mean by doubling them up. So basically if you've got a small range of motion, you can always double up the band that way, which is a lot harder. You can just reduce the amount of tightness, but you can't go as far. What I would do is if you've got a medium band and you're using that, you find that easier, put a light band on because it's a little bit less than doubling it up.
3, 2, 1.
Excellent,
Water
good.
break.
Water break. I'll have water this time. Oh, shall we have an unboxing? Shall we see what this is for me? Oh, excellent. Nice belt for me, and some camel tarpaulin for protection when I go out to do the airsoft. Lovely. Can't wait to use those, keep nice and dry. Right, so we'll be starting again in 40 seconds. Now that was probably the fastest unboxing ever. You see these people with videos which unbox and they could take up to 30 minutes to do an unboxing. Nah, just get in there. I just wanted to unbox the wife's wool to see what colour they are, see what interesting things she can create out of it, but I'd let her do the unboxing of that one. Half the fun, isn't it, going into it? Right, are we ready for wide, wide, narrow, narrow?
3, 2, 1.
Let's do wide, wide, narrow, narrow. So if you do knitting, crochet or anything like that, needlepoint, what is your favourite colour? And what's your favourite needle size? I know it's a bit odd talking about that when we're exercising, but it's also all a social thing. Ten seconds left. I can knit, but I can't crochet.
2,
It's
1.
foreign to me, that.
Change.
Right, so we're going to do dumbbell punches. Knitting is great for actually the manual dexterity, crochet as well. Getting your wrist working, forearm building, brilliant for that.
3, 2, 1. Exercise
Now let's go.
3.2.
So any kind of thing where you can keep moving is brilliant. Also it helps with against Alzheimer's because you're keeping your brain working. especially when you're watching the telly, because you have to watch two things at once. So listening to the TV and then doing the crochet or exercise if you exercise with it. It pushes your brain, so you're working that muscle as well. It's good for depression. There you go. All about fitness and health and mental health as well. 3, 2, 1. Excellent. Circular squats. Now I know everyone's favourite's coming up, the press up, so I know you can do a million of them, so I won't teach you too much on that. Right. It's a nice wide stance, remember?
3, 2.
If you have still problems with your knees, just do wide squats.
3.3.
Down. Okay, so nicely down. Try and get your bottom as low as possible. You will have to go backwards, so it's more of a diagonal motion. So I tend to go down like that. You notice my bottom is quite far behind my feet. When people normally go down, they normally go down like that, and the knees are, oh, that hurts the knees. And you really do feel the pain if your knees aren't going the same direction as your toes, or they go over your toes, especially the wider you go, because the more
3,
pressure is actually going
2,
in through those knees
1.
and through those toes.
Change.
Right, press ups now. So which press ups have you been doing? Chair, wall, roof, upside down, floor, or you're doing the knee
3,
press up. You can do the knee press up.
1.
Sorry, I forgot to show you about that one.
Exercise 3.4.
Where you actually just go on your knees, you go down and go up. What a lot of women do, I'll do a teaching point while she's doing it. What they do is they tend to get into a press up position, they go onto their knees and they put their hands forward. And they go down like that. It's almost like the Pope kissing the tarmac when he gets to the airport. It's not really working the chest at all, so you're not working where you want to do. Your hands should always be underneath your shoulders. And then you really are working your chest.
3,
So even if you're doing a really wide one,
1.
you're
Change.
still working your chest. If your hands go, and let's change, if your hands go further up, you're working them more, the upper side, and then to a certain point it goes directly to the shoulders. Right, low banded rows.
3, 2, 1. Exercise 3.5.
This won't be a difficult one to do whilst banded over there because there's not much pullback. So I would recommend either a stronger band if you're finding this easy, or 2 or 3 bands. Remember to watch those elbows on those arms of the chair. I banged mine last night. Oh my goodness. I don't know why they call it a funny bone. I don't laugh when I bang it. It's more like a blue
3,
language bone.
1. Change.
Let's change. So tricep dips. If people are having problems with this, what you can do is you can do tricep pullouts instead. So get your elbows up, use the band to pull out instead. It's a lot easier, but it's not as effective.
3, 2, 1. Exercise
Let's go.
3.6.
So if you're doing really good with this, the progression next is single legged. Get a bit of instability there. Try and do the same number on each leg. I'm sure you're all doing it on toes. That's it, good. 20 seconds left. So remember, if you're struggling, put your legs down. It takes off an awful lot of weight,
3,
probably about
2,
2/3 of the body weight.
1. Change.
Excellent, good. Right, last exercise for this set. Underhanded. Underhanded banded pullouts. Under counter pullouts.
3, 2, 1.
Right, let's go.
Exercise 3.7.
Try and get those shoulder blades back. 25 seconds left. 15. 'You're burning yet there? I know I am. 5,
3,
3,
2,
2,
1.
1.
Water break.
Brilliant, water break. Then what we're doing, we're getting the mats back. The mats are only for one exercise, the Otis Ups. So I'll go over them now. Have a quick drink first. What we're going to do Frankinstiens. So alternate leg to alternate hand, nice and straight. This is the proper way of doing it, but you can regress it. So up, try and touch the toes. If not, touch the shins. If not, knee to elbows. We're doing 20 of those. Then we're going to go down with the weights onto the floor. Going to get up into an ab crunch position, so feet in a 90-degree angle, weights up in front, and what you're going to just do is going to come up and pull yourself up as far as you can, okay? So it's almost like you're trying to actually get into a sit-up position, but with the weights above your head. If you can only go a little bit further, like an ordinary ab crunch, but the weights are up, that's fine. We've got 12 of those, and then we're going to get back up again. For the last one, we're going to do a good morning, but we're going to do it weighted. So we're going to put the weights to our chest, and we're going to bend over,
3,
and we're going
1.
to do a good morning. So let's do Frankinstiens. So whichever one you've picked to do, let's get doing it. So we've got 20, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, nice, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Brilliant. 12 Otis Ups. We'll give you a bit of time to get down. If I do my 12 before you, you just do your best. Are you ready? I must admit, I do like my feet a little bit further down, because then I can actually just go up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Use your tummy to help you get up. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 2 more. You notice I'm trying to use my weights a little bit to actually pull my weight forward, but as soon as my weight goes forward, they go up. And that's 12. So let's get up. I'll let you slowly get up. You don't want to get you dizzy. Right, weights up to the chest. We're going to bend over like a figure 7. We're going to do 20 good mornings. And we'll go. 1, so we're just nice up and down. 2, feel those hamstrings. 3, 4, 5, don't round that back. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, last one, 20. Brilliant, right. Let's get back to the Frankinstiens. In 3, 2, 1, and go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Excellent, good. We'll go down to the Otis Ups. I'm going to double over the mats because on the hard floor, even with these mats here, I tend to rub the top of my bottom. It hurts. So if you have the same problems, what I tend to do is get down, find out where your bottom is, double it over, and wherever it's painful, sit on that bit there. It's a lot easier. The bigger an overlap you are, the more you've got protected. So you're ready? So if you're only doing the ab crunch, that's fine. If you're doing the full one, let's get going. 1, much more comfortable. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. How are you doing? 11, 12. Almost like a Joey thing from Friends to say that. How are you doing? Gosh, that's old now. Right. Last part of it. Weighted good mornings. Gosh, these seem to take ages to do. Right, let's get going. So remember to bend only at the waist. Keep your legs straight but not locked out. And go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, last one, 20. Excellent, good on you. Right, we may as well do this stretches standing up. Just march on the spot, just to get the blood back to where it's supposed to be. Also allows your blood to stop rushing to the head, because we've just been bending over quite a lot. I find that if I do an exercise like that, the blood always rushes to my head, and if I do something straight afterwards, I do feel dizzy. So just walking around for 30 seconds allows the blood to actually drain out of my head. So I'm now an airhead again. So then we can actually start with the stretches. So we're going to start with slightly widen the shoulder width apart, knees slightly bent, and what we're going to do is a hinge at the hips and touch our toes. So try and keep that back straight. I know people want to actually, what they do is they go down that and they push their arms down to try and get to your toes. But you can try and keep your shoulder blades back a little bit, so you're not really rounding your shoulders. It's not too bad. You notice I do actually have a little bend there in the thoracic region. That's natural. What we're going to do is now go over to one foot and pick up the toe. So we're really doing the bottom of the calf. I like to grab hold of underneath my foot. Let's swap to the other side. Right, we're going to come up now, we're going to do the thighs. So if you want to grab hold of that chair, you can do. We're going to grab hold, so your foot's in your hand. If you have problem getting your foot into your hand, you could always use a band or a scarf. I don't find it as effective, but if you're tight there, you might not be able to just put your foot into your hand. Remember to get that knee, the raised knee, behind the supporting knee, and look up and clench that bottom for that extra stretch. Or you could be like me, you could put your hand away from something and then end up hopping around for a while. Good balance test this. 2, 1, let's change sides. This is where people do end up bouncing. Also, a lot of people who come to my classes know I always say this, try never to put your foot out to the side, because what you're doing is you put extra pressure on your hips and your knees. You don't want that, you want it directly into your bottom, your heel that is. Three, 2, 1, good. What we're going to do now is we're going to take a nice wide lunging stance. We're going to have one foot facing in one direction and we're just going to push forward. If you find pressing your knee, what I do is I tend to kick my foot forward just to try and get that extra stretch on the inside of your leg. So remember, always try and keep that knee behind that toe as much as possible to keep your knees from hurting. Good thing about this stretch as well is when you come back up, you can just turn that one facing forward, that one facing the other way, and you know you're in the correct position to stretch. Try and keep that foot flat on the ground. Now if you want to do a bit more of the calf, you could always do it facing the foot facing the same direction. You can push back, but you'll be a bit more unstable. Right, okay, let's stretch that chest, arms out, get that chest out. So we're stretching the abdominals, the chest, and a bit at the shoulders. Turn the hands over, push back. Now if you look in the mirror, if you push back and you see one hand flagging, that's because that pectoral and that shoulder is a bit tighter on that side. So if you can do it straight on, I look in the monitor and I try and push, and I notice that this hand's going back a bit further than that hand. So I try and equalise it. Brilliant. Right, let's now push forward. So what we're going to do is we're going to get our hands and push forward. We're going to round our back slightly. Really push out. The good thing about this one is because you're rounding your back, you're stretching all the what's called the erector spinae and the multifidus. They're two muscles which run up your back.
2, 1. Your timer is complete.
Excellent. Now we'll do the next last stretch. So stretch up, really stretch. So we're going to stretch, trying to stretch the front muscles and back muscles all at once. Really stretch up to reach that ceiling. 3, 2, 1, and release. And thank you very much everyone for coming. I hope you had a very nice Monday morning. I hope this has set you up for the day. And I'll see you all on Wednesday morning at 9:30 for Step Up. And we'll see where we can go from there. Right, so have a lovely couple of days. I hope you've enjoyed it. I have. I hope everyone enjoys the weather as well. And be safe and be careful. And God bless. Take care everyone.